What's up, everyone? Jorge Gonzalez with Coldwell Banker Denver Central on this snowy November 7th day here in Denver. If you are in Denver and out and about, just be careful, the roads are a little slick. There's some snow out there. Probably a good thing for this time of the year. But anyway, I got some market updates on what happened for Metro Denver in the month of October. But I also have some statistics I've been tracking on my own for a long time now on a couple of neighborhoods that I will touch on, Park Hill and Wash Park. So just stay tuned here very shortly for those. Starting with Metro Denver for the month of October, according to our MLS, market activity has surpassed what we've seen in the last 2 years in terms of more homes closed in October of this year in comparison to October 2023 and 2022. And actually, the number of closings was also a 6% increase from September of 2024. So there was a month-over-month increase, and there were also increases compared to October of the last 2 years. So obviously a good sign for sales. We set a unprecedented median price of $599,000 for Metro Denver, which is the highest median price for the month of October ever in Metro Denver. Now, this was driven by an increase in luxury sales. More specifically, closings of homes priced between $1 and $2 million surged by 34% compared to October of last year. So, there's some activity out there. And obviously, once you have those higher end closings, it's clearly going to bring up the average price more than the median price, but it's going to bring up both. And there were even 5 homes in the month of October that sold for over $5 million. Those sales are rare. So the fact that there's 5 in 1 month, and usually you see those types of transactions more in spring and summer months compared to, we're obviously in fall, kind of starting to go into winter. So all good signs. Let's see, more listings hit the market. In general, inventory increases has been a story we have been seeing now going back a couple of years. 2023, there was more inventory than 2022. 2024, in general, more inventory than 2023. So more active listings, even though sales numbers going up. And in some instances, average prices, median prices are still going up compared to past years, and I'll get to that in a second. But there's still more inventory. So, hey, buyers, if you're shopping right now compared to 2-3 years ago, it's a different story. There's more options, there's more price reductions happening, and there's more seller concessions. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. 4,644 new listings were added on the market in October, which is a little high for that month. Historically speaking, usually you see those types of new listings in a month more in spring and summer compared to as we start transitioning into fall, winter. But what else do we have? 4644 is a 22% increase in active listings compared to October of last year. Notably, 8% of these new listings are also in that luxury price range between $1 and $2 million. So, you have lower end listings, you have some higher end. So, anyway, things to keep in mind, especially as we start transitioning here towards 2025, because historically, especially going back the last decade, January, February, March, and sometimes April have been the strongest months to sell. So, FYI. Let's see. Buyer activity, under contracts or pendings. October was a strong month. 3,619 homes went under contract in October of this year, which was 23% more than last year. So a lot of times those October under contracts turn into November closings. So obviously in 30 days from now, or actually like 3 weeks from now, once we're getting to the end of November, we'll see how many of those close. A certain percentage typically always fall out, but we'll see what the data shows. So good, strong pending activity, indicating there's some buyer activity. Now, interest rates have been fluctuating both up and down in the past couple of months, so that could be a part of it. I'm curious what next spring is going to be like, especially if we see the Federal Reserve do 1 or 2 more interest rate decreases between now and the end of the year. Supply levels. The number of active listings in Metro Denver, just total listings, not just new listings in November, but total listings, is 44% higher than a year ago. So, hey, buyers, any of you who are looking, this is a good thing for you compared to, 2021 when we had a quarter of a month or a third of a month or a half a month of inventory. Right now, there's depending upon what neighborhood or city or zip code you may look in, there could be 2, 3, 4, even more months of inventory. So good news for buyers. There's still some good news for sellers. Let's talk about a couple of neighborhoods. Park Hill. There were 24 properties sold in Park Hill in the month of October this year. There were also 24 that sold in the month of October last year. The difference being the average price of the ones that sold last October, those 24 properties, was $744,183, so just shy of $750,000. This year, the average price of those 24, $835,500. That's a 12.3% increase. So, if you own a house in Park Hill, good for you. Inventory is up in Park Hill. Here's a little snapshot. In May of this year, there was anywhere between 2.2 and 2.7 months of inventory. As of right now, as of end of October, beginning of November, that number is between 2.8 and 3 months. So it's a little higher than May. A month ago, so end of September, beginning of October, it was between 2.9 and 3.5 months. So inventory dropped, about half a month compared to a month ago. 70 active listings right now. 30 days ago, there was about 78. In May of this year, there were 69. So Park Hill in the inventory department has been in this range of 60 to 80 active listings, really since probably late April of this year. Moving on to Wash Park. 34 properties closed in Wash Park in October of this year, compared to 29 last year. So a slight bump in activity in Wash Park. Average price of those closed volumes, $1,340,297. A year ago, the average price was actually $1,343,875. So that average price is down 0.3% in essence, relatively flat. Wash Park, great neighborhood. If you look at it 5 years ago, the average price in Wash Park is 60% higher compared to 5 years ago, so it's still a great neighborhood, even though prices really in the last 12 months have been virtually flat. Let's see. In May, Wash Park had between 2.6 and 3.6 months of inventory. There were 67 active properties as of one point in time, and if you want more details, just reach out to me and I'll get you that information. Inventory as of right now, 2.4 to 2.6 months, 58 active listings. So there was 67 active at one point in time in May. There was 69 at one point in time in July, with inventory ranging from 2.3 to 3.1 months. So inventory has dropped a little bit, but in general, it's been in a 2.5 to 3.5 month range for most of this year. But if you want more information going further back, just feel to reach out, and I hope you find this information useful.